woke up from a coma to find out your memory now lasted just a couple of weeks, how would you cope? It's a question one woman from Kent has been forced to find out, as Keir Mackenzie discovers.
Whilst we might sometimes forget when to vacuum, Gillian Shaw also forgets how to. With a severely impaired memory, every time is like the first time.
Right, this is the one that I want to use, and I've got to connect that somehow to maybe I'll take this out first.
Gillian developed her condition when she was 28 after contracting the virus encephalitis. She slipped into a coma, and when she awoke 2 weeks later, most of her memory had been completely wiped out. Her past had gone. If that wasn't enough, it emerged Gillian's ability to make new memories would be severely limited. You've done this lots of times in the past though, haven't you?
I know.
She's lived like this for 26 years.
Oh, because I've done something with it, I might forget that I didn't manage to do it. So I'd go through all of this again.
So next week you'll forget that you've had this experience struggling with it and you'll try again?
I don't know until I've tried.
Gillian also suffers from epileptic fits. It means she can't watch television and depends on the radio and reading as forms of entertainment. But even that has its limitations.
If I pick up a book and I start to read, that's fine for maybe a day. If I want to carry on reading the next day, I can't remember what I read before. So I have to just start from the beginning. Now I just enjoy reading children's little fairy tales, and that's okay because I can start from the beginning and carry on until the end, and I have a picture of the thing.
But it's the emotional side of Gillian's life that's the most challenging. When she awoke from her coma, her relationship with everyone she'd ever known had been destroyed.
It's worse for her than it is for us because we do remember it. And obviously at times she gets upset when we inadvertently start talking about things that happened in the past, which of course she can't remember.
You just have to cope. I don't know how to describe it, but you do. And you realise it becomes a slightly different relationship, but it's, as far as I'm concerned, my relationship hasn't changed. And to me, she's still my child.
So do you know any good children's stories?
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland.
And what's that about?
A little girl having an adventure.
Do you remember that there's a tea party in Alice in Wonderland?
No. I don't remember a thing about it.
But you just know that you've read it?
Yes, and I know that I enjoyed it, so I know if I feel I want to read something now, I can read it again.
But what if there was a way to stimulate her memory, to make an experience so vivid it can't be forgotten? Gillian Shaw has started making films, recording her life in the hope it'll help her retain memories and, at the very least, give her solid evidence of what she's done. Gillian is quite literally making memories, and for her, that's essential.
I've been on holiday. After I've had 2 weeks holiday. When I've come back, and it's taken a little while for Gillian to remember who I am again. But we soon pick up, and then she's fine. But yes, there is a 2-week window. Yes.
We decided to test how effective making these films is proving to be, and so we started to arrange a small party for Gillian to film.
I'd like you to come. Can you make it?
But before the party, we wanted to see if there were other ways she could be helped. Dr. Bryce Pitt spent his career studying memory. We invited him down to meet Gillian to see if there was anything he could do to help.
Are you Gillian?
That's right.
Well, very nice to meet you. Thank you for letting me come in.
Bryce used to run a memory clinic in London and has treated thousands of people.
I'm going to say 3 words, and I want you to repeat them after me when I've said all 3. And the words are ball, car, man.
Ball, car, man.
And I want you to try to remember those words because I'm going to ask them a little while I'm going to ask you for them. In the meantime, can you spell world?
W-O-R-L-D.
Can you spell it backwards?
D-W-O-R-L-D.
Just missed one thing out.
R.
R-O-W, that's right. What were the words I asked you to try to remember?
Man was one of them.
Yes, that's quite right, yes.
Jog.
Nope. No, okay, that's fine. Do you remember my name?
No.
Right. Shall I tell you my name?
Yeah.
My name is Pitt, P-I-T-T.
Right.
That's spelt the same way as Brad Pitt, the film star.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know him. And William Pitt, the Prime Minister.
No,
Doesn't help you.
names are hopeless.
All right. Here's another thing I'd like you to do.
The tests continue and Gillian seems to have a random ability to recognise some objects she simply wouldn't have seen in the past few weeks.
Is that a typewriter?
Typewriter is right. Yes, that's correct, yes.
And yet the name of the man sitting opposite continues to escape her.
Now, can you remember my name? Now I told you.
No.
Okay.
How unusual a case do you think she is?
I think she's unique. So that's how unusual it is. I've never met anybody like her. I doubt there's anybody exactly like her at all.
Do you think her memory could ever be improved beyond the point that it's at now?
I don't think so, no. I mean, she's been like this a long time. She's actually achieved a remarkable strategy for coping with it, and I don't think it could be improved.
But Gillian disagrees.
I've got parts of my brain that have been covered up, and I believe that they still exist, and they just need to come out of, they need to be unraveled.
A few days later and it's her big party. As usual, Gillian will be filming it. She believes that just making these films is forcing her brain to work harder to store these events. The party seems to be going well. We want to give Gillian every chance possible that she'll remember what's happened at this party today. So we've invited 3 rather special guests. Guests in keeping with her love of Alice in Wonderland.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Well, I'm going to remember you lot now, aren't I? Because you're rather special, yes.
It was clear Gillian had many genuine friends, but how do friendships or even relationships work with only a limited memory? 13 years ago, Gillian fell in love. Her relationship with Ken lasted 8 years, until he passed away.
When he died, I thought, I'm not going to remember this person. And that was more upsetting than even the fact that he died, in a way. I don't remember him as a person. Now I've got some photographs. I don't remember all the lovely times we had together. I just know that this person meant a lot to me. I knew him for 8 years.
But you don't remember any of those 8 years?
No.
It's now been a month since I last saw Gillian. I spent 2 very intense days with her, but if the experts are right and her memory can't be improved, then today she won't know who I am. But if Gillian is right, and the process of making films is stimulating her memory, then perhaps she will remember me. It's time to find out. Hello there. Do you know who I am?
Of course.
What's my name?
Kim Mackenzie.
Correct. Hello, Gillian. Nice to see you.
Because you can't pretend that I don't.
No. And you know. Gillian had proved the experts wrong. She is improving, and it seems making films is what's to thank for her progress. She remembered me, the memory expert, and the party. And however long these memories remain, years, months, or just a few more weeks, Gillian is committed to leading a life worth remembering.